Hey everyone and welcome to the video. So today we're talking about, you guessed it, Saints Row again. Obviously with the new game coming out, we're going to be all over this currently. And I want to talk about another thing about the reboot that people kind of want, and I want to have my thoughts on it. So yeah, kind of like yesterday's video if you enjoyed that. So yeah, let's get into it. So, Consumables. They have been in Saints Row 1 and 2 for the whole of the game's lifespan, and they were quite beloved. People really liked them. They peaked in 1, but at least 2 still had them as kind of like a quick health regain system. Now, the Saints Row Reboot's health system is completely different, and you have to kill enemies in order to heal yourself. So, realistically, Consumables would fit in perfectly. Having a way of quickly boosting your health on the fly without having to fight more enemies, to me, seems like a good way of balancing out the whole health system where there's no just standard regen, so to speak. However, I've seen nothing about it. They haven't been openly denied, from what I've heard, but nowhere's talking about them. It seems that if they are in the game, they're not a real focus point for anyone. And I understand that maybe when these reviewers play the game, they don't understand the importance of it, so perhaps it was just left out. But I think the fact we haven't seen any consumables in Saints Row is a bit worrying. So let's talk about the history real quick. Saints Row 1, Saints Row 2, and then what we could possibly get in the reboot. So in Saints Row 1, you had consumables that essentially were like superpowers, as silly as it sounds. You would drink a bunch of alcohol and become super strong, or you'd take less damage, you'd smoke weed and you'd be more, I don't know, there was lots of different things you could do, and it would kind of boost your character's stats in a way. Now, in Saints Row 2, they really toned it down and, in my opinion, downgraded it. But it was still necessary, it was still good that it had it, because it was simply a health boost. You clicked a button on the D-pad, you drank something, you ate something, your health was boosted. You could smoke, and you could drink, and it was really cool, although the options were limited. It was one of the few things I feel the sequel to Saints Row really downgraded on, as Saints Row 2 is seen by a perfect stance really in the Saints Row community. It definitely had its little downgrade there. But with the reboot, I would want it. Let me put it like that. I'd want it a lot more than most other features. To me, with the branding on all the vans and stuff, I forgot the name of that food brand they have, but you know, they've put a big, heavy emphasis on this one particular food brand out there. They have, it's like a, what is it? It's the mobile food thing. I can't even say it. It's like Chalk. It starts with CH, that's all I know. And, you know, they've done an advert for it and everything. It seems like the perfect place to have it. And with Santa Elisa being so vibrant, you wouldn't even need food shops. You could just have, like, food trucks around the map dotted about as a quick health boost. I think that sounds like a really cool concept. And that's actually, if they were to do it, how I feel they would do it. Instead of maybe having a consumable you hold, perhaps dotted around the map, kind of like sleeping dogs, there's just these places that you can perhaps go to and get a temporary boost from. So perhaps you eat a burger and you have full health regen instead of partial health regen for 30 minutes, or perhaps you drink something and get strength for 10 minutes. That to me seems like the ultimate way to do it, because from what I've seen, we aren't going to be able to hold any consumables. I haven't seen any menu for it, I haven't seen anything like that, and you know, it's just a theory of mine. It's just a pure little what I would want. So the reason I think it's necessary in the reboot, like I said, is because the way the health system works, I think you have like essentially 25, 50, 75, and 100% health bars. And they're all separated, and you can only regen to the end of that. Think Far Cry's health system, where, you know, you can regen, but you only regen 1 bar. I think that's kind of how it's going to work, unless you kill enemies, which boosts it to the next bar, and then you can heal up past that. Not the worst health system, although I definitely prefer the standard regen. However, I would prefer this health system if standard regen was an option depending on what you picked and what you did. So by having food options out there, where you can perhaps eat at a truck or eat before a battle, and go in and have those extra bonuses from it, I think it would add a new layer of depth to the reboot. And I think that one thing I love about Saints Row is the amount of options it has, and I think that having this really small, simple feature would actually really impact the gameplay quite a lot more than anyone would really think. I mean, the standard health system, like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world. There's worse health systems than Far Cry. But I feel that with Saints Row's really fast gameplay and constant chaos, the last thing you want to be doing is trying to sneakily attack enemies from far away because you're hurt to get past the health bar. And I feel like having a food source that you could go to perhaps would really stop this effect. I mean, it's always something they could look at for a sequel if it's not in the game, but I really hope that food and consumables are in the game of some sorts. Now, talking about other consumables besides food and drink, let's talk alcohol. and smoking. So these are classic moments for Saints Row, and perhaps even drugs. Who knows? I wouldn't do drugs. Not even in my video games, I'm not that naughty. But, I mean, having them in the game and giving you sort of effects like Saints Row 1 did would be really cool. Imagine if you had a drink and you could run really fast, or imagine if you smoked up and you could hit really hard, or imagine if you did some drugs and, I don't know, your explosions do more damage or something crazy. I think it's just a cool concept that could be explored within the reboot. I don't know if they're going to do it, but I would want it there. So, let me know. Do you think they're actually going to have consumables in the reboot? There's been a lot of branding about this one food brand in the game, this fast food place, but we haven't actually seen it in game, and it seems that with all the marketing, there's been a heavy emphasis on food. I mean, there's been how many different food-related Saints Row things. They got the recent release of the hot sauce. They've been doing lots of food-based things, like Pancake Day. They had the weird pancake recipes, and they've done a few things about food. So who knows? Will we get it in the reboot? I don't. Let's hope we do, though, because I would really like it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Like, comment, all that boring stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I can't wait for this game. I'm so excited.